constant pressure. And you get that in the slide, but I'll just use you that through quickly. It's measuring the weight decibel dBA. A weighting adjusts for the human ear's daily sensitivity. So every 3 dBA doubles the noise, and every 10 dBA means a tenfold. So when you're talking about 90 dBA, it's 10 times louder than 8 dBA, and 100 is 100 times louder. And your normal speech is reckoned to be about 50 dBA. We've got some very good information in the textbook. So frequency, that's just to talk about what the human ear, actually hears. So you can get something to talk about frequency. Criteria for noise exposure are based on this concept of equal energy damage risk. As noted earlier, I wouldn't want to bother you about giving you the control of noise at work, regulation or whatever it is or what it does. It's not something I will want you to bother about. Just sit down in the foot. Just sit down in the foot. It's not going to be something that you should bother yourself too much about. But this table, you could use this for your own consumption, but it's not as if you're going to get that in the exam. So when you see that in the slide, I'll include that in the slide. Now, whenever you see a question about how can noise be controlled, base your answer on these 3 areas of the following chain about how noise can be controlled. At the source, the path, that's how does the noise travel. So let's say that place is where it's making noise. Generator area at the end of the building is where the noise is being made. Can we control it at that place? If yes, very good. If you cannot, why don't you control it along the way? That's the path. And if you cannot control it at the path, what about at the receiver, at our own end? And if you check in your textbook, you have these lovely things about dampening and the lovely. You have that. Bear that in mind. Look at that part about it. That's how you control.
What page, sir?
What page? That's a very good one. So it shows you. So when you get a question about control of noise, just bear it in mind. 3. That's it. No two way about it. And the source. Anything that makes the noise. And it's the same thing. The technicality you use for a lot of these things. Even for your substances as well. Can you control that substance at the source? What ventilation do you have in place? Do you enclose it? Or along the path, in the air, can you control it and say, we make this, that's why you see some areas, they call it control. Not security control or access areas, that we see in some areas to say no access. Because they don't want people to come in that way. So they control it at that source. It's only that area that the noise is coming from. That's where the substance is being hazardous to people. If they cannot control it at the source, can you control it along the path? Or can you control it at the receiver? People that have been exposed to it as well. So always bear your mind when you're tackling a question. Bear that 3 in mind. And again, these are just some comparisons about intensity. And I believe we'll be able to read that up with the textbook. Again, looking into the textbook, if you look at page 365, for those of us that have it, it's okay now, talking about it. For those of you